Jason Allbrand, one of the guards, a 6'2 senior, averaging 13 a game. Scott Yarborough, the leading scorer on the Wildcats, at 19 a game, and Scott is 6 feet 1 inch tall and a senior. The Wildcats, as they have in every game in the tournament, dressed in the road black with a gold trim, and the Raiders in a home white with a red and black trim. Now we're set for the opening tip-off. It'll be Huffman against Clark. Steve Fisher, the veteran referee, on his four-man crew, will toss up the opening tip, and it's in the air, and Huffman got the tip, but he picked it up after tipping the basketball. And it'll be Southridge's ball. Raiders ball, and they'll get it out at midcourt. So Huffman got the tip, it hit the floor, and then Huffman picked it up.
Yeah, you can't touch it unless you just bat it again.
Not unless somebody else touches it.
Right. So, that will constitute a turnover for the Wildcats to start things out, and the two officials go over to explain things to the bench.
They're saying the alternate arrow.
Which it would go then to, looks like it goes to Southridge.
Yeah, it will. Jasper controls the tip. All right, here come the Raiders. They work it off into the corner. Bottleworth is on Nycom. They work it out in front to Patberg. Patberg works it off to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock had a ball tapped away, picks it up. Cats in a man-to-man defense. Boozy off in the right-hand corner, out to Patberg. Huffman has drawn him. Patberg drives to the head of the key, can't get it in. Now works it off on the left side. Bottleworth is on Nycom. Nycom will turn, fire, and hit. Nycom, a good running one-hander. Pulled up and got the jump shot away, and the Raiders get the early lead at 2-0. Here come the Wildcats. The Raiders drop back in a 2-1-2 zone. They'll try to shut down the inside game of the Cats. Allbrand out to Yarborough. Yarborough off to Bottleworth. Out to Yarborough. Yarborough to Bottleworth. Bottleworth cross court off to Allbrand. Allbrand will send one on the way. Off, no good. Rebound down to Southridge. Boozy comes down with a board. Raiders with a 2-point lead in the ball. We played a minute deep into the first quarter. Boozy on the drive, left side of the lane, pulls up, forces a shot up, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Kippenbrock. He'll put it up, missed a wide open shot. Garlick down with the rebound. Ahead to Yarborough. Yarborough bring it down, float in the lane, put it up, no good, and the foul calls. It's going to be on Heath Kippenbrock. Cats got the transition game underway that time. Oh, Kippenbrock missed a wide-open driving lay-in that would have given the Raiders a 4-point lead.
Well, you're going to, when you get yourself wide open like that, Bob. A little intimidation in there, though, with the Jasper height there and Kippenbrock's defense. And probably a little early game jitters, too.
Yarborough at the line will shoot the one and bonus. Yarborough held to a season low last night, but he hits the free throw here. Held to 7, and all 7 came in the first half. Yarborough a chance to tie the ball game. 2-1 Raiders, 6:46 first quarter. Yarborough's free throw is right on the money. Now we've got ourselves a tie. The Wildcats come out in the full court press. Backcourt, Patberg lays it off to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock trapped along the sideline looking for help. Gets it over to Patberg. Patberg through traffic. The ball slapped away, and a reach-in foul is going to be called on Allbrand or Yarborough. Let's see. I think it's going to be on Jay Allbrand, yep. Allbrand called for a reach-in foul. Well, that'll be number 1 on the Wildcats. So each team with a personal foul, and Boozy will inbound it across the way.
Patberg just had that ball scarfed away from him, and the two guards for Jasper were on their way to an easy bucket until the official blew the whistle.
Kippenbrock will walk it over the timeline here at Huntingburg Memorial. Works it off on the left wing, gives off to Nycom. He'll fire on the way, rims in and out, no. Rebound put back up by Boozy, missed the shot. Put back up by Clark, won't go. Rebound down to Nycom, knocked away out of bounds. It'll belong to the Raiders. And the Raiders, Bob, did a good job on their offensive board that time, but they missed a few close-in shots again.
Their position happened to be there, and I'll tell you that we've got, let's see, who is it? Bottleworth is up against Nycom. Nycom's still getting off some pretty clear shots.
Nycom will inbound along the Raider baseline, and he'll work it in on the bounce pass to Boozy. Played nearly 2 minutes into the first quarter. Boozy circles in the backcourt. Now comes to the head of the key. Down in the lane. He'll fire over Huffman. The shot is short. Huffman high into the air for the rebound. Outlet to Yarborough. Yarborough running. Bounce pass to Albrand. He'll take it all the way in. Put it up. No good. Rebound tip long. Yarborough comes away with it. He'll fire. One on the way. No good. Greilich down with the rebound. Puts it back up. No good. Rebound. Pull down into the corner. It'll go out of bounds to Southridge. Huffman pulled up lame over there.
Yeah, he did. He's limping towards the bench right now. Well, they come crashing into the Southridge bench area there, and not a bench really, just a series of chairs that are stacked up there.
Huffman thought the shot was not going to be any good, and he had conceded the rebound to the Raiders, started the other way, but he came up lame, and now they're going to walk him down into the tunnel. So that's a tough break there for the Wildcats.
All right, he goes out with 5:53. And the game tied.
Seibert comes into the ball game for the Wildcats. 2-2 tie. Boozy works it back the other way. Boozy. With Albrand on him, off to Kippenbrock. He moves off to the left side to Patberg. Patberg out to Nykum. Montorf is on him. Now to Boozy. Right wing. Kippenbrock drives to the baseline. Cut off. Out front. They come to Boozy. Boozy to Kippenbrock. Deep right corner. Kippenbrock looking for help. Now has to get rid of it. Does to Boozy in the right corner. Albrand is on him. The Cats in a man-to-man defense. Here's Boozy driving toward the lane. Gives off to Clark along the baseline. I think Clark thought a whistle had blown. I thought I heard one too. Everybody kind of stopped in suspended animation there. Along the sideline. Nykum out front to Kippenbrock. Wildcats playing a sticky man-to-man defense here. 5:06 left here in the first quarter, and we're tied at 2. Patberg out front. The Raiders being very patient. Nothing open, so they don't force the action. Patberg drives in the lane, lays it up on a run. Good. Well, they just cleared the middle of the court, and Patberg drove right down the lane and put it up and in.
Well, that's the patience that Coach Duncan said that he was going to be taking.
Excellent move by Patberg. He got the one-on-one opportunity and made the most of it. Out front, Yarborough lost the handle on it, picks it up, starts back the other way, gives off to Greilich. Greilich lost the handle on the ball. It'll be a jump ball. The alternate arrow will give it to Southridge. 4-2 ball game. The Raiders lead, and we're down to 4:31 here in the first quarter. Wildcats will continue the full-court pressure. Again, Huffman has gone to the Wildcat dressing room as he came up lame down there. I really didn't see what happened to him. He wasn't really in the action on the rebound attempt.
He had just knocked the ball back out to Yarborough, and then we took our eyes off of him because we were following the ball.
Might have come down on somebody's foot. Well, you don't know yet, but we'll find out. Patberg over the timeline, gives off to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock out front to Patberg. Raiders got it spread out all over the... Here's a steal by Yarborough. Yarborough will take it down. He'll lay it up and score. Yarborough the steal in the driving lane, and we're tied at 4. Through traffic, Patberg up the right-hand wing. Almost came back over the timeline. Now deals off to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock drives to the left-hand side, looks for help. Now is open. He'll fire. No good. Rebound battle for it. Greilich comes away with it. Ahead to Yarborough, and the Cats are on the run. Yarborough through traffic, gives it off on the right side. Seibert will fire a 17-footer. Won't go. Rebound, pulled down inside by Clark. Clark gives off to Nykum, and Nykum ahead on the left wing to Patberg. Patberg looks at Gary Duncan now before he takes it over the dividing line. Patberg out front to Boozy. 3:32 left in the first quarter. 4-4 tie. Lob pass to Kippenbrock. Cats remain in the man-to-man defense. Patberg on the right-hand side out near the timeline. Patberg starts his drive, directing traffic, gives to Boozy. Boozy will take it in, put it up, score, basket count, and the foul called on Greilich. Good move there. Excellent one-on-one by Boozy. Boozy took it in and scored and drew the foul from Greilich. Greilich picks up his first foul, second on the team, and Boozy will go to the line for a three-point play as the Raiders are up 6-4. And Huffman is back into the lineup for the Wildcat crowd comes alive.
Now, he was out about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes, maybe 2.5. Jasper shooting 1 out of 6 from the floor. Neither team shooting well until that got the Southridge Raiders to a third of a percent, or they're 33% out of 3 out of 9. They have been hitting only 2 out of 8, so a little bit of bad shooting right now.
Boozy's free throw is good.
Three-pointer.
And the Raiders lead it by 3, 7-4. 3:14 remaining here in the first quarter. Yarborough slowly over the timeline, gives off to Bodorf. Bodorf to Huffman. Huffman out high, had the ball stripped away, saves it. He'll take it in, lays it off to Griley. Griley puts it up and scores, no good. And a whistle, and the foul is called on Clark. Clark called for a reach-in foul. Wildcats probably would have rather not had that foul.
Right, Garlick got the pass, the bounce pass from Huffman, and consequently made it off of the glass.
That's the foul call before the basket. Now one of the officials, Mr. Meyer, wants the towel, and he'll do some homework down in the paint as Southridge.
Chris O'Brien.
Yep. O'Brien comes into the lineup, and Clark goes out.
Clark's only a freshman. He's a hard worker.
O'Brien comes into the lineup. Cats get the ball inbounds. They trail by 3. Yarborough circles to the top of the key, pulls up, fires from the top of the key. Good, a 3. Yarborough hits a 3. 7-7 tied on the inbound pass. Yarborough calls for a foul. Well, the Cats trying to make up a lot of ground a little quickly, I think, as Yarborough made the three-pointer, and then on the inbound pass reached in and committed a backcourt foul. Raiders will move it the length of the court. 3 team fouls on the Wildcats, 2 called on the Raiders. Kippenbrock works it up the right side to Boozy, and Boozy brings it into forecourt for Southridge. Now up to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock comes back out front, looks for help. Huffman reached around Patberg, knocked the ball away, and Huffman will be called for the foul. That'll be his first and the 4th on the team. One more, and the Raiders will go into the 1 and bonus pretty early. 2:38 left here in the first quarter, and we're tied at 7. The Raiders will inbound it on their own end line, and it will be Paul Nycom. Nycom holds up 2 fingers for the inbounds play. Lobs it to the backcourt to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock works it off to the right-hand side. Now to Nycom. Nycom double team. Yarborough stole the ball. Yarborough take it down. He'll penetrate, put it up on the glass, and score.
That was total body control.
Yarborough went through 2 defenders and got the lay in, and the Wildcats have their first lead. In the backcourt, a traveling call on Patberg. Well, Bodorf and Albrand created that turnover.
That's the 3rd turnover for Southridge.
The Wildcats have 9 points, and Scott Yarborough has them all.
Couple of free throws, a 3-pointer, and 2 field goals.
Inbounds. Riley along the baseline. Puts it up. No good. Little quick on the shot, and the Cats didn't have anybody under the board. Nycom down with a rebound. Gives off to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock out to Patberg. 2:05 to go in the first quarter. Cats with their first lead at 9-7. Patberg through traffic. Will take it in, put it up, and score. Excellent move by Steve Patberg.
He's very deceiving.
That's twice that he has gone right into the paint.
That's the 4th tie of the ball game.
9-9, a minute 49 to go in the first quarter. Bodorf gets the pass from Yarborough on the right wing. Back to Yarborough. Off to Albrand. In the lane. Bodorf will turn and fire. The shot is blocked. And a foul call is going to go against Bodorf. That'll be Bodorf's first, and that'll be the 5th on the Wildcats, and the Raiders will go to the line with a 1 and bonus. Bodorf, I think, a little frustrated at missing a shot in the paint.
That was blocked. He had a shot blocked against him, and that was what was frustrating him.
And then, as he went to retrieve the ball, he really raked across the head of O'Brien. And Chris O'Brien goes to the free throw line. 6'1" sophomore.
I just don't think that Bodorf was anticipating somebody getting up there that high with him.
O'Brien fires, got it. And the Raiders go back on top at 10-9. Here's Brad Dedrick checking into the lineup, and Greilich is going to go out. So the Wildcats, for all intensive purposes here, will be running a 3-guard offense with Yarborough, Dedrick, and Albrand. And the 2 inside people will be Bodorf and Huffman. O'Brien back at the free throw line for the second one, puts it on away and hit it. O'Brien gives the Raiders a 2-point advantage at 11-9 with a minute 35 to go. Yarborough, left wing to Albrand, inside to Huffman. He'll spin, travels. Huffman walked with it. 2 turnovers for the Wildcats, and the Raiders will get it back. 1:32 left here in the first quarter of the title game. Again, the official mopping up some perspiration, but this time he uses his shoe and not a towel. Inbounds, Patberg. Patberg starts up the left wing, starts to take it in. The ball stripped away by Yarborough. Here's a reach-in foul called on Patberg. Patberg called for the reach-in after he had been stripped by Yarborough, and Yarborough was setting sail for the other end.
That's 4 turnovers now in Southridge, and 3 of them have been on the steal. So the Wildcat pressure, and they've got a 3-guard offense, as you mentioned. Probably going to heat up a little bit on that pressure.
Inbounds pass comes to Yarborough, and he takes a couple of dribbles in a forecourt. Off to Dedrick on the right wing. Raiders again with that zone packed in really tight. Allbrand, the bottom up. Allbrand will launch one. No good. Rebound down to the Raiders, and Nykum comes down with it. The Raiders got that glass sealed off pretty good.
They do. They got the
excellent position inside. Patberg spins as he comes over the timeline. Gets triple team. Gets it off to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock will take it in. Give it off to Nykum on the left-hand side. Nykum looking for help. Gives to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock lays it inside. And here is a shot blocked by Huffman. But then Kippenbrock commits a foul on Yarborough. That will be number 2 on Kippenbrock.
Huffman blocked it. The official was right there. Culver clean block, and the ball came down off of the block from Huffman. Yarborough grabbed it, and Kippenbrock grabbed Yarborough.
O'Brien's the man who put that shot up, and Huffman got high into the air to block it. 11-9 with 47 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and the Raiders own the 2-point advantage. Wildcats will try to tie or maybe go ahead with a 3 this time down. Right side, Dedrick. Boy, they jam inside on Huffman, off to Dedrick. Every time Huffman gets the ball, there's about 3 of them on it. Here's Yarborough firing, no good. Rebound pulled down. Nice rebound by Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock stepped right in front of the Wildcat rebounder and picked that one off of the floor.
Try go down for 1 if they can hold the ball long enough to do it.
Patberg off to Kippenbrock with 18 seconds to go in the period. Kippenbrock looks for help, gives off on the right side to Patberg. Now to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock lost the handle on it, goes out of bounds. It'll be 5 turnovers for the Raiders.
This will be the 3rd opportunity for the Wildcats to tie it up. They've been down 11-9 for a minute and 20, almost a minute and a half. 3 times down the floor, they've been unable to connect.
Yarborough picks it up at the half-court line. Goes to Dedrick. Out to Yarborough. Yarborough circles to the left side. Gives off to Allbrand. Allbrand will fire on the way. Won't go. Rebound down to Dedrick. Dedrick called for over the back with 1 second to go, and Nykum will go to the free throw line. Dedrick called for the foul. Allbrand had the 3-pointer down in the ring, but it popped out, and the rebound went long, and the Raiders had the inside position. Paul Nykum did, and Dedrick reached over and committed the foul with 1 second. Here is Clark coming back into the Raider lineup. Clark comes in, and who's going to go out? It's going to be Kippenbrock. At the line, Nykum.
Everybody's perfect. The Wildcats are 2 out of 2. The Raiders are 3 out of 3. Foul situation just about even. 4 against Southridge and 6 against Jasper.
Nykum's free throw is good. And the Raiders have equaled their biggest lead of 3. They lead it 12-9. Nykum a chance to expand it to 4. 1 second left on the clock.
Nykum got the first score, a field goal, to give them a 2-0 lead.
He puts it up good. 13-9. Inbound. Yarborough throws it the length of the court, and it'll be way short, and there's the end of the first quarter. After 1, Southridge 13, the Wildcats 9.
At German American Bank and ask about tax-deferred annuities. German American Bank. We make friends for life.
36% shooting for Southridge, 4 out of 11. Jasper only 23%, 3 out of 13 from the floor.
All right, the Wildcats inbound it, and the second quarter underway. Wild pass out front to Yarborough. Off on the right-hand side to Dedrick. Dedrick out front, Yarborough. Left side, Allbrand. Allbrand takes it, fires off of the glass. No good. Rebound comes down to the Raiders. Waterworth had a hand on it and couldn't gather it in. Patberg comes up with a loose ball.
Now, Coach Duncan spent some time, and he's taught the kids in one lesson how to shut off the Wildcats' inside game.
There's a pass deflected away. Huffman picks it off. Ahead to Yarborough. Yarborough take it down, lays it off on the left wing to Dedrick. Back into Huffman. Huffman will turn. He'll fire. No good. And a foul will be called. And it's going to be on Huffman, I think, for an offensive foul. Huffman called for the offensive foul, I think.
Yeah, that is. That was the case. 3 turnovers for Jasper now.
Still got Dedrick up there, but now they call it on Dedrick. No. This is Huffman. A little slow on changing the number up there. Huffman's second foul. Offensive foul. The Raiders get the ball back on the offense and a 4-point lead at 13-9. Boozy out front. Raiders very patient. Here's Nykum driving to the free throw line. Fires and scores. Nykum gives the Raiders a 6-point lead at 15-9. Here's Yarborough back the other way. The Raider crowd has hardly sat down the whole night. They're fired up. Inside, Huffman. He'll fire a 10-footer. It won't go. Raiders get the rebound. Jasper cannot buy a basket. Southridge comes away with a rebound, and here's Patberg working it up on Brad Dedrick. Patberg angles to the left side, now reverses direction. Looking for help, goes off on the right side to O'Brien. Out front to Boozy. Boozy. Out front to Nykum. Nykum brings it back outside to Booz. Boozy starts his drive. He'll take it inside. Fire on the run. It won't go. Gets his own rebound. Puts it back up and hits it. Boozy scores. The Wildcats want a timeout. Timeout Jasper. Southridge 17. Jasper 9.
Elmer's Auto Owners, that's no problem, people.
Well, an 8-point shot now for Southridge as they surprise the Wildcats 17-9. 6 minutes to play here in the first half.
Cats are in a long dry spell here. They led 9-7. Out front, Yarborough from 3, won't go. Rebound, Balfour. Holbrand comes down with it and is fouled. Boozy fouled him. That'll be the 5th foul of the Raiders, and so the Wildcats will be in a 1-and bonus from here on out in the half.
Well, it's a tight game underneath, Bob. The officials are calling, most of those fouls are underneath. Right there where they've all kind of conglomerated to defense the Wildcats from getting in there.
Holbrand will go to the free throw line and try to break this Wildcat dry spell. They've yet to score here in the second quarter.
That was 2:27 on the clock when Yarborough hit that last one.
Shot is no good, and here's an over-the-back call on Patberg on a rebound. Patberg was up on Dedrick's back. Holbrand missing the free throw.
No Wildcat has scored except for Yarborough. The 9 points have come from Scott Yarborough.
The Raiders have played an excellent defensive game, and they've done a tremendous job on the backboards. Wildcats have been able to get, for the most part, only one attempt each time down. Dedrick missed that one badly. The Wildcats look to be a little shook right here. The Raiders down with a rebound. Nykum backs it into the top of the key, gives off to Boozy deep in the backcourt. Here's Holbrand with a steal, but Holbrand's going to be called for a reach-in foul. Holbrand picks up his second foul. Holbrand had the steal at midcourt and was starting the other way, but reach-in foul as he grabbed the wrist, and Boozy, a good free throw shooter, will be going to the line. Boozy was there. Boozy hit one back in the first quarter that completed a 3-point play, so he is 1 for 1 at the stripe. Looking to expand that lead even more. Free throw up, good. Raiders have been perfect at the stripe. They lead it 18-9. Well, it was all a year ago, Bob. You recall against the Jeeps. Jasper scored 13 in the first half. They're having trouble here in this championship game. Boozy misses this one, and a rebound pulled down by Greilich. Greilich out to Yarborough. 18-9 ball game. Raiders got the Cats doubled up. Greilich out front. Yarborough fires a 3. Got it. Yarborough hits the 3. And it's 18-12. Cats continue to keep the full court pressure on. Nykum works it off to Boozy. Off to Nykum, left wing, back to Boozy. Boozy will take it over the timeline. Jump pass to Nykum. Nykum takes it down to the baseline and gives it off to O'Brien. O'Brien back out to Boozy. Boozy out front. Nykum, he'll fire on the run. No good. Greilich down with the rebound ahead to Yarborough. Cats will slow it up with 4:52 to go here in the half. Yarborough off to Holbrand. Holbrand inside to Huffman. Huffman will take it in the paint, put it up on a run. Good. Huffman gets his first basket. And it's 18-14. The Cats pull back to within 4. Raiders were up 9 a moment ago. Nykum off to Boozy. Boozy drives it over the timeline right. Boozy throws it away, but it goes off of Greilich's hand. Pass was intended for Patberg, and Greilich had it go off his arm along the baseline. Now Bottler checks back into the Wildcat lineup, and Allbrand's going to get a rest. Raiders will inbound it along their own baseline. Paul Nykum steps out to trigger it in. 4:26 to go in the half. 18-14, Southridge. Nykum off toward the right corner now. Lobs it inbounds, and Bottler deflected it away out of bounds. Bottler trying to choreograph the crowd. Right. Nykum will inbound it.
Southridge fans, at least the student body, has not stepped down throughout the game.
Inbounds to Patberg. Patberg comes through traffic. Out front to Boozy. Boozy drives off on the left-hand side. The ball almost stolen away. They get it off to Nykum. Nykum, double teamed. Lobs it off to Boozy near the double circles. 4:11 to go in the half. Raiders lead it by 4. Boozy comes through traffic. Off to Nykum. Nykum looking to get rid of the ball, goes to Patberg as the Raiders spread it out all over the court. Now into Boozy. Boozy will fire a 10-footer. No good. Rebound down to Yarborough. Yarborough starts back the other way. Now slows it up. She comes over the timeline, and Yarborough says, let's be patient. A lot of time left in this one. Yarborough, 18-footer. In and out, no. Rebound down to Nykum. Yarborough had it down in the iron, but it wouldn't stay, and Nykum had the good inside position for the rebound.
That's one thing. Southridge defense surely has positioned themselves on the glass tonight on that offensive board.
Patberg through traffic, gives off to Boozy out near the timeline. Boozy lays it off to Patberg. Patberg comes down the lane. Now we'll give it off to Nykum. Nykum driving through traffic, blocked by Greilich. Jedrick picks it up. Jedrick will take it out off to Yarborough. He'll drive and score. Yarborough driving way in off a good feed from Jedrick. And a capture back to within 2. Nykum in the backcourt. Yarborough sits down on the seat of his pants trying to draw a charging foul. The ref would have none of that. Now off to Patberg. Patberg out near the timeline. Under the 3-minute mark to go in the half. Patberg works it off to the right, looking to get rid of it now. Does. Off to Clark. Back to Patberg. Patberg cross court to Boozy. Boozy works it off near the corner to O'Brien. O'Brien. Now a call for double dribble. O'Brien turns it over. 8 turnovers for Southridge. 3 for the Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcat fans up in mass. The Southridge fans up in mass. And Jasper could tie it up or go ahead this time down the floor, which is a rarity for the Cats. They haven't been ahead since it was 9-7.
Yarborough brings it up, gives off to Jedrick. Jedrick will fire a 3 and hit it. Jedrick rips one from 3. And the Wildcats lead it 19-18. Here's a high pass right side to O'Brien. That almost went over O'Brien, but he did a good job saving it. Boozy through traffic, pulls up and fires on a run. No good. Gets his own rebound. Comes outside to Patberg. Out to Nykum. 2 minutes to go in the half. 19-18, Jasper. Nykum looks for help, lobs it toward the timeline to Boozy. Now Boozy, he'll penetrate. He'll take it in, fire on the run. It goes in. Good effort by Boozy as again the Raiders find that lane wide open. And Southridge goes back on top, 20-19. 1:39 to go in the half. Raiders in that 2-1-2 zone. Now Jedrick with it on the left wing. He hit one there from 3 a moment ago. Huffman fires from 15 and hits it. Huffman has his second basket. The Wildcats lead it 21-20. 1:18 to go in the half. Gene Cato, the commissioner of the IHSAA, will be Bob Boyle's guest at halftime. Boozy, left wing, takes it into the corner, gives off to Clark. Now they bring it out front. Patberg had the ball knocked away, but they give it off to Nykum. Now Nykum circles and sets it back up. 58 seconds to go in the half. Out to Patberg. Gary Duncan frantically telling his readers what to do out there. They have to look back at him. Now Patberg drives off to Nykum. 45 seconds. Nykum takes it in. The ball is stripped away, and Yarborough's called for a foul. Yarborough called for a reach-in foul, and Nykum will go to the free throw line. Yarborough reached in and swiped it away, but they call a reach-in foul. And so Nykum, who is an excellent free throw shooter, will have a chance to put the Raiders back on top.
And the county's leading scorer averages 20.3 points a ball game and has done a good job for Southridge throughout the year. And certainly, you're right, a good free throw shooter. Southridge 6 out of 7 from the stripe. Jasper 2 out of 4. Nykum went to the free throw line at the end of the first quarter, made both of those.
Nykum eyes the bucket, lets it fly, no good. Riley comes down with a rebound. Riley's off to Yarborough with 40 seconds to go, and Ed Yarborough holding up something to signify what offense he wants the Cats to run here. The Wildcats will spread it out. Half a minute to go in the half. 21-20, Jasper up by 1. It's been a long uphill struggle for the Cats. They were down 18-9 at one point.
Cats will want to take this down to about 8 or 7 seconds and then hope to get a putback if the three-pointer is missed, if that's what they try.
Yarborough off to Dedrick. Dedrick to Yarborough. Yarborough asking for a pick. He gets it. He launches it. It is no good. Huffman tries to tip. No good. And Huffman calls for a foul. That was really a silly foul on Huffman. 2 seconds to go, and Huffman fouled about 80 feet from the Wildcats basket, from the Raider basket, as it turned out. Well, the Raiders got a foul
at the end of the
Dedrick with 1 second to go in the first quarter.
There's 2 on the clock right now, but still going to the free throw line will be Nykum.
Huffman went in to try to tip it up and in.
Right. Trying to get the putback, on a missed shot.
Nykum goes back to the free throw line. He'll be looking into a sea of black and gold down there. 2 seconds to go. Nykum fires, hit it. Nykum now with 7 points. 21-21 tie. Nykum could break the tie and give the Raiders a lead with just 2 seconds left on the clock. Nykum, deep breath, sends it on the way, got it. Southridge leads it 22-21. Yarborough lets fly, and it's short, and there's the half. After 2 quarters, Southridge 22, Jasper 21.
Huntington Northfield versus Huntington North. I'm picking Northfield. Seymour Bedford plays Jennings County. That'll be a good. Bob Simmers, their second half ready to start. 22-21, Southridge has the lead.
And they have the balls. They inbound it. Here's Patberg walking it slowly over the timeline. Dedrick is on him. Now they work it out near the backcourt to Nykum. Nykum off to Boozy. Raiders spread it out all over the court. Boozy takes it off into the corner, gives to Clark. Clark to Kippenbrock. Out of Nykum. Nykum double team, gets it off to Patberg. Patberg. Wait over a half minute, and the Raiders have yet to put it up. Patberg looking for help, somebody to get it away to, and finally does, to Boozy out near the double circles. Boozy works it off on the left-hand side. Boozy hands it off. Here's a steal by Dedrick. Dedrick will take it down. He'll lay it back, and the ball is stolen by Nyhup, carried out of bounds. Kippenbrock stole the bounce pass, but his momentum carried him over the end line. Dedrick tried to get it back to Albrand. He was trailing him in. Kippenbrock almost had the steal. Wildcats get it. Here's a pass in low to Motto. If he gets to Albrand, Albrand fires, no good. Boozy comes out with a rebound, and the Raiders start on the boards just like they did the entire first half. Wildcats didn't have hardly anybody inside. Here's Boozy taking it in, rolls it in. Boozy right down the paint. Wildcats have left that area open all night, Robert. That's about 4 right down the middle that the Raiders have taken in on them.
It's open right now because Steve Huffman isn't in there. He's saddled with 3 fouls, and Coach Yarborough can't put him in until latter part of this quarter, I imagine.
Riley turns and fires, won't go. Rebound, pulled down by the Raiders. Boozy. Raiders with a ball and a 3-point lead at 24-21, and the Wildcats wanted to get off to a better start here in the third quarter, but they haven't gotten out of the gate yet. And the Raiders looking more and more confident with that spread offense. They're handling the basketball really well. They had several turnovers, about 8, but right now they're really hanging tough. Here's the ball stripped away, loose on the floor, picked up, put up, no good, and a whistle, and a reach-in foul called on Yarborough. That'll be 3 on him. Yarborough has just picked up his third foul. Huffman is already on the bench with 3. Yarborough picks up his third, and the Raiders will inbound it along the inline. Paul Nycom will figure it in with 6:09 to go. The Cats have played almost 2 minutes without scoring here in the third quarter. Comes into Boozy. Boozy out into the backcourt. Backs it in. He'll take it in. He'll fire. Won't go. Riley down with a rebound. Ahead to Yarborough. Yarborough comes up over the timeline, and Kippenbrock called for a reach-in foul. That'll be 3 on Kippenbrock. First foul on the Raiders here in the half. Yarborough will step out of bounds to work it in. Now it'll be Allbrand. 5:59 to go here in the third quarter. The Raiders out in front, 24-21. Jasper looking for its first point here in the third period. Allbrand into Greilich, out front. Yarborough off to Dedrick, inside. Greilich turns, fires, won't go. Rebound, pulled down to the Raiders. Wildcats shooting very, very poorly.
They've hit 7 in a row between the first and the second quarter. Now I have missed 5 in a row between the second and the third quarter.
Nycom to Boozy. Boozy in the backcourt, deals off to Patberg. Patberg spins away from Dedrick, gives it off to Boozy. Boozy will bring it back to the backcourt and give off to Nycom. Bottorff is on him. Nycom comes to the head of the key, deals off on the left to Patberg. Gaps in that man-to-man, chasing the basketball, and that's got to wear on you a little bit, not only physically but mentally as well. Boozy, 5 seconds called on Boozy.
Now that'll be the 10th turnover for Southridge. Jasper still has turned the ball over only 3 times, but they just haven't had the opportunity. Coach Yarborough gets up to lead some cheers for the fans to get up.
Cats have gone nearly 3 minutes. They have gone 3 without scoring. Yarborough pumps one up, way off the mark. Allbrand pulls it down, fires, won't stay. Greilich tips, no. Greilich back up, no. Tipped up by Bottorff, no. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to Jasper. Wildcats had about 2 snowbirds on there, and then they tried to tip it up. They kept it alive on the glass, but it just wouldn't fall.
They had 4 actual shots there. None of which dropped.
Allbrand, Yarborough takes it to the top of the key, gives off to Allbrand, baseline, Greilich. He'll lay it in to Greilich, Bottorff to Greilich, and Greilich scores. That broke a long dry spell, and the Cats pull it within 1 at 24-23. 4.5 minutes to go here in the third period. Boozy out near the timeline. Allbrand will pick him up. Boozy starts his drive, gets away from him, comes in the paint, shoots on a run, won't go. Rebound pulled down, and Dedrick is up over the back. Once again, the Raiders get in on the glass and have a good inside position and sealing the Wildcats out of there.
There's some good sportsmanship between Nycom and Yarborough. A couple of taps.
Nycom will inbound. Off on the left side to Clark. Clark will fire and hit it. There's a big bucket for the freshman. 26-23. Cats trail by 3 as they work it up court with 4:11 to go in the third quarter. Yarborough, right wing to Dedrick. Out front to Yarborough. Yarborough off to Dedrick. Dedrick along the baseline to Greilich. Out front to Yarborough. Raiders in that 2-1-2 zone. Allbrand into Greilich. The ball's knocked away. Greilich saves it. Gives it off to Yarborough. Into the corner. Allbrand to Bottorff. Bottorff will turn and fire. Won't go. Greilich pulls it down, puts it up, and Greilich's going to be called for over the back. That'll be 2 on Greilich, and that's the 3rd team foul on Jasper here. So the Wildcats, as they did in the first half, on the verge of putting the Raiders into the 1 and bonus relatively early in the half. 3:47 left here in the third quarter, and the Raiders own a 3-point lead, 26-23. Nycom works it up over the double circle. Comes to the head of the key, gives off to Patberg. Huffman getting ready to come back into the Wildcat lineup. Out front, Nycom comes down the lane, deals it inside, a man open, puts it up no good, but about traveling called on Kippenbrock. Oh, there was a big break for the Wildcats. The Cats kind of hammered him, but I guess Steve Fisher saying that he had traveled before the foul. Huffman comes in and Greilich goes out. Well, there was a big break for the Cats, Bob.
Well, it was, as the lead could have gone up to as many as 6 there. On a 3-pointer, definitely could have been by 5.
Huffman out front. Gives off to Dedrick. Now to Yarborough. Yarborough to Dedrick. He'll fire a three-pointer. Way off of the mark. Rebound pulled down by Patberg. Patberg tells his teammates to go on down the floor. I'll bring it up. The Wildcats drop back into that man-to-man. 3:04 left here in the third quarter. Patberg going through traffic. Deals it off. The ball slapped away. Kippenbrock saves it. Off to Patberg. 2:56 to go here in the third. Off on the right-hand side to give to Boozy. Boozy starts his drive. Off on the left wing. Kippenbrock will fire. It won't go. Allbrand comes down to the board. Now to Yarborough. Yarborough speeds it up the right-hand side. Comes into the middle. Off to Allbrand. Now to Yarborough. Yarborough's pass is kicked away out of bounds by Patberg. 2:35 to go here in the third quarter, and the Wildcats have scored only 2 points, and the Raiders have only 4.
Yeah, it's a shooter's contest here, Bob. It's kind of like a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, it is. Yarborough fires from three. Got it. Yarborough, a three-pointer. The Wildcats have tied it at 26 with 2:21 to go in the period, and right here, Gary Duncan wants a timeout. He'll get it. 2:17 to go in the third quarter. Jasper 26, Southridge 26.
The greatest flavors you'll ever find are at Holland-Berry. It's Holland-Berry time.
Back here at Huntingburg Memorial, the Raiders inbounded at midcourt, and Kippenbrock brings it up over the timeline. Kippenbrock to the top of the key, drives off on the left side. The Wildcats move him off into the corner defensively. Kippenbrock looking for help, lays it off to Patberg, will drive and score. Patberg wide open as the Wildcat defense forgot about him. 28-26, Southridge goes back on top. The Wildcats have enjoyed only the lead about a couple of times tonight.
Right, and only by as many as 2 only.
Allbrand, left wing, with 1:45 to go. Huffman takes it in the paint, takes free, puts it up, good. Huffman really worked to get open that time. He had 3 defenders around him, a couple of double pumps, and then finally got up off of the floor and made the shot count. Inside, Patberg gives off to Clark. 28 all tied. Now to Knight, and the ball knocked away. Yarborough picks it up. He'll take it down, gives off to Allbrand. Allbrand will turn and fire off of the glass, no, but a reach-in foul called on Boozy. Boozy on a reach-in foul will send Allbrand to the foul line. Now Chris O'Brien is going to check back into the Raider lineup, and Clark will come out.
The last Jasper lead was at 19-18, which was 2:20 to play in the first half. The game's been tied up 6 times now. Grolick getting ready to go back in.
Grolick checks in for the Wildcats, and let's see who'll go out. Probably Huffman, yeah. Huffman will go out.
Only a minute 21 as he questions the coach for taking him out, and the coach says, you only got a minute 21, let's sit down and don't pick up that 4th foul.
Allbrand to the free throw line, fires and hits it. Allbrand 1 of 2 at the line, and the Wildcats inch ahead by 1 at 29-28.
That's 3 out of 5 shooting at the free throw line for the Wildcats, 8 of 10 for the Raiders.
Allbrand's second is on the way. That's way off the mark. Bottle down with a rebound, put it up, missed it, puts it back up, missed it again. Rebound comes long. Did Dedrick save it? No.
Ouch.
Boy, Bottle had 2 point-blank shots right in front of the basket, and it wouldn't go.
I've seen several do that. You just get too open. He wasn't expecting to get that rebound, I don't think.
Well, the Raiders could have opened up a pretty substantial lead early on in the first quarter. They missed 2 or 3 real close shots inside. Dedrick reached in and almost stole the inbounds pass, but Nycom saved it. 1:11 to go here in the third period. Jasper up by 1, 29-28. Nycom to the top of the key, lobs it in the backcourt to Patberg. Patberg works it to the point. Now up to Boozy. Boozy starts his drive. He'll take it in the lane, and it's going to be called for rolling the ball over. Boozy carried the ball. Yarborough reaches down and helps Boozy up.
13 turnovers.
Well,
Every quarter break so far, it's been Southridge hit the lead, 13-9 at the first quarter, 22-21 at halftime. And only 45 seconds remain here in the third period.
Yarborough to the top of the key, off to Allbrand, rather. Now to Yarborough. Allbrand out front. Yarborough has the ball stripped away. He saves it, and a foul, not traveling, called on Yarborough. Yarborough called for steps. 4 turnovers for the Wildcats. Yarborough pleading with the official, Steve Fisher, but that's not going to fly. 34 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and the Raiders get a chance to grab the lead again. Well, the Wildcats can't stand prosperity. Every time they get a chance to lengthen the lead, they self-destruct. Out to Boozy. Boozy near the timeline. Wildcats continue to be in that man-to-man. Boozy angles off to the left, gives to Kippenbrock in the corner. Kippenbrock out near the timeline. He'll take it inside, and here is a turnover called on Kippenbrock. He rolled the ball over.
I thought the first 2 quarters were going to be indicative of what was going to happen on the third one as the drive was there and 11 seconds on the clock. I thought a foul was going to be called, but it wasn't. It's a turnover.
9 seconds, 8, 7. Yarborough trying to work free for a screen. Does. Fires. Hits. A 3. 2 seconds. 1. There's the quarter. At the end of 3 quarters, Jasper at 32, Southridge 28.
Are your taxes eating away at your earnings? The Financial Service
B600.
11-6. The Wildcats able to outscore Southridge in that quarter. Southridge pretty well patient. Were content to hang on to the slim leads that they had. Jasper now up by 4. That is their biggest lead. Southridge had been up by as many as 9 when it was 18-9. Another 8 minutes, and that'll be it.
Well, you know, when Gary had those 2 terrific teams over here, the Wildcats played them tough in the sectional. It's payback time for the Raiders. Here's Huffman firing, no good. Nykum comes down with a rebound. Huffman had the shot he wanted in the paint from about 8 to 10 feet, but it wouldn't drop.
Point blank.
He couldn't miss that shot last night.
Well, he hit 14 out of 18.
Here's Boozy on the drive, lays it off to Kippenbrock. Yarborough almost picked his pocket, but Kippenbrock saved it nicely. Kippenbrock circles out near the timeline to Patberg. 7:28 to go in the ball game. Cats lead 32-28. Patberg looking for help. Now gets it off to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock out near the timeline to Boozy. Boozy drives it off on the right-hand side. He'll take it inside and walk with it. Traveling call on Boozy.
Now, that's 15 turnovers, and that really is what happened to Southridge there as far as the Wildcats getting the lead back in that third quarter. 6 turnovers for them in that quarter, and only 1 for Jasper.
Yarborough slowly up through the double circles here at Huntingburg Memorial. 7:08 to go in the ball game. Dedrick, right wing. Yarborough off on the left-hand side to Albrand, back out to Yarborough. Yarborough lays it off to Albrand in the corner, back out to Yorty. Yarborough off to Albrand, left side. He'll pull up and fire, and it rims in and out. No, and Nykum down with a rebound. Albrand can't buy one tonight. Dedrick almost reached in and took it away from Nykum, but now Nykum comes up the right side and over the timeline. Nykum takes it all the way down in the paint, turns and fires, and scores. Excellent one-on-one move by Paul Nykum, and that brings the Raiders back to within 2 at 32-30. Third basket of the night for Nykum. Raiders in a 2-1-2 zone. Dedrick off on the right-hand side. Yarborough off to Albrand. Albrand out to Bottorff. Now to Albrand. Now on the left wing to Yarborough. Right-hand side. Dedrick along the baseline to Bottorff. Inside to Huffman. He'll put it up and score. Huffman on a good feed from Bottorff. And the Cats lead it by 4 again at 34-30. We've played nearly 2 minutes into the fourth period. Patberg lays it off to Nykum. Nykum right in front of the Raider bench, looks at Gary Duncan, and Gary gets up, motioning what he wants his offense to do. And I think Nykum thought he wanted a timeout. Now off to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock almost traveled with it.
That little gum stuck on his shoe. That's about the only thing that kept it down.
He had looked to pass to a teammate, and the teammate all of a sudden turned the back on him. Out front, Boozy. 5:39 to go. Wildcats down to zone. On the left wing to Patberg. Patberg on the left-hand side.
Number 5 being held up by Coach Yarborough, so apparently going to do a little switching around.
Patberg will take it in the lane, lays it off to Kippenbrock, back out to Nykum. Nykum out near the timeline with 5:19 to go. 34-30. Jasper, did you get that Washington Catholic Lagodi score a moment ago?
Negative.
Heard the PA announcer give it. I think it was the end of the third quarter, but I wasn't sure. Here's Boozy driving it off to Kippenbrock in the corner. Out front, Patberg. Patberg lays it off to Boozy, and the Wildcats are having to chase the basketball. Here's Boozy starting his drive. Angles through the top of the key. Allbrand won't let him penetrate. Here's a steal by Dedrick at midcourt. Dedrick will take it down. He'll lay it up, and he'll score. Dedrick a steal and a big driving lay-in. And a Cats lead by 6, and Gary Duncan wants a timeout. Timeout Southridge. Jasper 36, Southridge 30.
Oh, remember the way.
Well, the pressure defense put up by the Wildcats has resulted in a couple of field goals for Jasper, and they now have a half a dozen lead. But it's Southridge's ball, Bob, with 4.5 minutes to play.
Nykum with the basketball, lays it out to Patberg. Dedrick playing right in his shirt. Patberg starts his drive. Huffman steals the ball, lays it off to Dedrick. Another turnover, a cluster into the Raiders.
That's the third one this quarter.
Yarbrough holding up his hand, saying, let's take our time. The Bottower. Bottower plays it in low to Huffman, and Huffman bobbled the ball, and Boozy steals it. I don't think Huffman was anticipating the pass. 5 turnovers for the Wildcats.
Anticipating a putback.
Out front, Kippenbrock, so the Raiders get a breath of life there. Out front to Patberg. They need a basket this time down. Nykum will take it to the corner, double team. Works it out front to Boozy. Boozy off on the right side to Patberg. They work it in low. Nykum will turn along the baseline. Can't get it in. Patberg will fire it up. No good. Yarbrough down with a rebound. Yarbrough running. He'll take it in. He'll lay it up, and it won't go. Tipped up, no. Dedrick pulls down a rebound, puts it back up, no, and traveling called on Dedrick. Well, the Wildcats, Yarbrough missed that driving lay-in. He was maybe a little quick leaning in.
Maybe should have checked up a little bit. I'll tell you, the defense for Southridge got back so quickly.
Yeah, they did.
There were 3. There's a wall of red and white down there on them.
And Huffman went right in behind Yarbrough and tipped it up, and they just laid on the rim and wouldn't go in. Nykum will fire out of the corner. No good. Rebound long to Dedrick. Dedrick will be called for traveling. Dedrick got that long rebound, and Coach Ed is up saying, hey, let's slow it down just a little bit. Let's go racehorse it up and down the court.
This is a third opportunity for Southridge to cut into that 36-30 lead that Jasper filled up.
And the Cats had a couple of opportunities to expand it into a more comfortable margin. Still plenty of time. 3:05 to go. Boozy has it out on the right side. Foul line extended. Now up to Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock inside. Patberg turns, fires, got it. Good play by Patberg. Kippenbrock got him the basketball as it came off a pick in the paint. And he turned, fired, and put it up. 36-32. 2:45 to go in the ball game. Yarbrough slowly up over the double circles. Lays it off to Allbrand. Allbrand out front to Huffman. Off on the right-hand side. Dedrick inside. Allbrand will turn and fire. Put it up no good, and a foul call. And that will send Allbrand to the free throw line. I think it was on Patberg.
I believe it was. He was right there on him. Did a little head fake and then jumped up there.
Patberg picks up his third foul. It's only the third team foul, but Allbrand will go to the line for a pair.
Both ball clubs with 3 personal fouls here in this half, and that's a milestone compared to what it was in the first half.
Allbrand is 1 out of 3 from the charity line tonight. That's his only point. Cats have Bottorff, Huffman, Allbrand, Dedrick, and Yarbrough on the lineup. There's the shot up, no good.
Cats, Bob, have been stuck on 36 since Dedrick hit with 4:43 on the clock. So over 2 minutes, about 2 minutes and 8 seconds have gone by.
Raiders have Nykum, Boozy. There's a free throw up by Allbrand, good. Kippenbrock is in there, O'Brien. And Patberg. Here's Kippenbrock up the right-hand side. 37-32. Jasper up by 5. Patberg lays it off now to Nykum. Or rather, Kippenbrock does. Here's the ball knocked away from Nykum. Saved, though, by Kippenbrock. Now to Nykum. Nykum heads to the baseline. Now comes into the middle. Double team. Fires over Bottorff. It won't stay. Rebound pulled down. And a foul call. It's going to be on Kippenbrock. Kippenbrock picks up his 4th foul. And it's the 4th team foul on the Raiders. 1 more, and the Wildcats will be in the 1 and bonus. The Wildcats have committed 1, 2, 3 in this half. They got those 3 relatively early, Bob.
Well, they did, Bob. I was looking just as you were talking about their free throws. We're not going to the free throw line here, of course. The next time around, the Wildcats will. But the Raiders have 8 out of 10. The number of free throw or field goals made are only 12 for Southridge, only 14 for Jasper the whole game.
Allbrand out to Bottorff, off to Dedrick. Dedrick brings it out. Yarbrough, a three-pointer on the way, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Allbrand. He'll put it up and draws the foul. I think it's on Nykum. Maybe Boozy. We'll wait and see.
I think Nykum, he was standing right there along the baseline there. See if they hold up the number 4, too, which I think they're going to, right?
That's the first on Nykum. 15 foul. 1:52 to go in the ball game. 37-32. Wildcats, and Jason Allbrand goes back to the charity stripe as the freshman Chad Clark comes in for Southridge. O'Brien will go out. Clark in, O'Brien out. Allbrand to the free throw line. Jay is 2 out of 5 at a stripe tonight. He fires. He hits. 38-32. Jasper equals its biggest lead of the night. Southridge led by 9 at one juncture, 18-9. Before the Cats came back and grabbed the lead, but the Raiders got the lead right back prior to halftime. Allbrand fires and hits. 39-32, 7-point advantage. 1:52 to go. Raiders quickly up court. Kippenbrock out to Boozy. Boozy off into the corner. Nykum will fire a three. No good. And what do we have here?
Dedrick ran right into Chad Clark, who was just standing there.
He was trying to kind of screen for Nykum out of a shot out of the corner.
You can watch for Nykum to go to that corner, Bob. He's a three-point artist, and he really hasn't gotten the opportunity as much as he'd like. So I think for their three-pointers, he'll be heading for that corner.
Well, they hadn't been in the game plan early with the Raiders leading. They were being very patient. The ball is worked inbounds. Turn around by Pat Berg. It is up, no good. And a foul call. It'll be on Bottorff. 2 on Bottorff and the 5th on the Wildcats. So I think it's going to be a shooting foul anyway. Patberg will be going to the free throw line with 1:43 to go. Jasper 39, Southridge 32.
I think it should be the one-on-one. We'll see what Steve Fisher indicates when he gets the ball.
Paul Nykum gets a towel and mops the perspiration off his brow. Patberg going to the free throw line. It is the 1-and-1. Patberg, first trip there tonight. Takes a deep breath. Lets it fly. Good. Patberg with 9 points on the night. 39-33. The Raiders cut the lead to 6 with 1:43 to go. Patberg could cut it to 5. Takes a deep breath. Fires. Hits. 2 big clutch free throws by Steve Patberg. Inbounds to Allbrand. Now to Yarbrough with 1:40 to go. Yarbrough will take it up over the timeline. Kippenbrock is on him. Yarbrough drives it off on the right wing to Dedrick. Back out to Yarbrough. Now to Bottorff. Bottorff will take it in, and he is fouled. Boozy fouled him. And Bottorff will go to the free throw line.
Oh, Bottorff kind of looked like he had his finger jammed there, or maybe his fingernail clipped back on him a little bit.
Yeah, it's on the shooting hand as he looks at it there. He started to do traffic. I imagine the Raiders like it when they see Jasper, Scott Yarbrough, and Jason Allbrand give up the basketball. They're going to be going for anybody else that handles it if they're going to have to commit the foul.
67% shooter at the free throw line is Bottorff. He's got 1:30 stopped up there on the clock. Nothing settled here. The Wildcat fans, they'd be satisfied with a couple of free throws out of Bottorff right now.
Bottorff with a 1 in bonus. He fires. He hit it. Rolled it in. 40-34. Well, Bottorff actually has done a pretty good job on Nykum tonight. 10 points for Nykum.
He has, but Nykum, like you said, it wasn't the offensive strategy.
Bottorff fires, no good. Rebound, foul called on Allbrand. Allbrand fouled on the rebound. That'll put the Raiders all the way to the other end of the court with a 1-and-1.
How'd 2 seconds go off the clock? There's 1:30 on the clock. I don't see how 2 ticks could have come off.
That'll put the Raiders back at the foul line with a chance to eat into the 6-point lead, 40-34, and Gary Duncan up coaching, and so is Ed Yarborough. The strategy thickens right here, and I think the Wildcats want a timeout. Yeah. 1:28 to go in the ball game here in the championship of the Southridge.
The one-on-one. Both ball clubs join the one-on-one right now. It's going to be Heath Kippenbrock. The Raiders are 10 out of 12. They've hit their last 4 in a row. Jasper 7 out of 11 at the free throw line. I don't think Kippenbrock has gone to the free throw line tonight, has he?
No, he does not have a point, but he does now. Kippenbrock averages just under 7 a ball game, and cashes a big one in right here. The Raiders have hit 3 crucial free throws here in the last 30 seconds. Kippenbrock's free throw is no good, and Bottorup is fouled by Patberg. So the Raiders reciprocate and send Bottorup to the other end of the floor.
Well, it's
1 second went off the clock.
Yeah, that's right. 1 second goes off. It's been that way. Wildcats fouled on a follow-up on a couple of, with 1:43 to play. And when Patberg went to the free throw line and got a couple. Then 13 seconds later, the Wildcats get to go down and tag one.
Bottorup back to the free throw line. He fires. It is good. Hits the front rim, the side rim, and in.
Nothing like a clean free throw, huh?
Yeah, John looks at the scoreboard and lets a deep sigh exhale out of his body. Bottorup lets it fly. No good. Clark down with the rebound. Here come the Raiders. 41-35, a 6-point Cat lead. Kippenbrock with it. Gets it into Clark. Clark in trouble. Now out to Nykum. Nykum is double teamed. He'll fire. No good. But a foul call that'll be on Yarborough. Yarborough and Bottorup had him sandwiched in, and he was trying to put up a three-pointer.
Well, they're going to go. They got to go with Paul Nykum. Southridge has got to go with him. He's the man that scores 20 points a ball game. You can't leave Boozy alone either, as far as that goes.
Correction on the foul. It's not on Yarborough. It's on Bottorup. That's the third on Bottorup. Nykum goes to the free throw line. He is 4 out of 5 there tonight. Nykum fires and hits. 1:14 to go in the game. 41-36. Nykum will try to cut it to 4. Nykum. Deep breath. Sends it on the way. Good. Nykum hit them both. 41-37, and the Raiders come out pressing. Out to Yarborough. Yarborough's double team starts up the left side of the court. He'll take it all the way to the end of the corner. Comes out to Albrand. Albrand is fouled by Patberg, and that'll be 4 on Patberg, and Albrand will go to the free throw line.
Well, I'll tell you, the clock is running ever so slowly. It has been stopped 6 times now since 1 minute and 43 seconds.
Albrand, that's the 5th foul I have on Patberg.
Well, he's just registered that on the clock, too.
Patberg is out. And Southridge wants a timeout, I believe. Yep.
You get that championship game. 2 wins and 18 losses. This ball club is not a 2-18 team. I'll guarantee you.
No, they're 3-18.
Well, they're 3. I'm talking during the season.
Oh, yeah.
2-18.
No, they weren't.
They played a lot of ball clubs close, but not that close, and several of them scored, 70, 80 points against them. It depends on what's riding on it, I guess.
Albrand at the line will fire and hit. Albrand now is 5 out of 8 from the stripe tonight. 42-37. Jasper's lead is 5. Albrand will try to extend it to 6, and does. Albrand hits 2 pressure-packed free throws. 43-37, 1:04 to go. Up the left wing, Boozy in the forecourt hurriedly. Gary Duncan says, let it fly. Boozy does. It is no good. The ball slapped away out of bounds. It'll go off Nykum's hand out of bounds. The Wildcats get it. Wildcats are going to have to face the full court pressure. 56 seconds to go. Yarborough gets the return pass. Way down court. Dedrick free. Yarborough hit him, and Dedrick scores, and a foul call. The basket will count. What a pass by Yarborough. He spotted Dedrick all alone down court, threw him about a 3/4 court pass. Dedrick made the basket, drew the foul, and Dedrick will go to the foul line. 45-37, Jasper up by 8.
What a devastating shot that just resounded through this gym. A beautiful pass, a good peripheral vision of Scott Yarborough, saw Brad Dedrick, and caught him down around the 15-foot mark. Dedrick had to do was put the ball down a couple times to the floor and go up and lay it up. By that time, he was fouled.
Dedrick trying to complete a three-point play. Lets it fly. Good. Dedrick curled it in. Now what?
Oh, as I turned down to look.
Oh, they called an intentional foul, I guess, huh?
Apparently. And if that's the case, the Wildcats will get the basketball.
Didn't they count the basket? Dedrick fires and hits.
Yes, it's now 47.
47-37. Micum, let's fly from 3. It is bounding, no good. Rebound batted away, and a foul called on...
It'll be on Allbrand.
Allbrand, I believe, yeah. Allbrand and Huffman both in the vicinity, and they assess it to Allbrand.
Well, obviously that was an intentional foul. But that's a 4-point turnaround right there for the Wildcats. Allbrand had hit a couple of free throws to stretch the lead to 43-37 with a minute 4 to go. Then with only 50 seconds, that's when Dedrick broke free and picked up 4 quick points.
Chad Clark lets it fly short. Huffman comes down with a rebound. Out of Yarborough. Micum is on him with 35 seconds to go. 47-37. Jasper by 10. It has not been a 10-point ball game. Yarborough through traffic gives off to Allbrand. Cross court to Dedrick. Dedrick drives down the lane, has the ball slapped away, saves it, goes out to Yarborough with 20. Yarborough through traffic and draws the foul, and Yarborough will be going to the free throw line.
No, you're right. It has not been a 10-point ball game. 47-37 is the score right now, and the bench, well, you can't call a dump on the bench, I don't think. Garlick is going to come back in. Kippenbrock calls for the foul. He is fouled out.
Huffman and Riley exchange high fives. Huffman comes off of the court and gets a big hug from Coach Denny Lewis. Now Dedrick over along the sideline. Raiders get a couple of substitutions coming into the ball game.
Cochran gets to go into the ball game.
Bagley. Landman checks in. Cochran comes in. Yarborough and Micum change handshakes. Micum comes out of the ball game, and he had an excellent game.
He had an excellent year. And this entire team, short of Tony Cochran, will be back for Southridge next year. Waiting for Scott Yarborough to go back to the free throw line. Some junk being tossed out onto the floor, apparently, as some of the local Jazz Arms coming down to calm things a bit.
Yarborough will come to the free throw line. Here is Chris Hope coming into the ball game for the Wildcats. Monolith checks out. Here's an excited young man.
Well, certainly it ends a long drought for the Wildcats since 1981.
Todd Rowland getting ready to come into the ball game as Yarborough checks in at the foul line. Yarborough's foul shot on the way, no good. Raiders come down with a rebound. Quickly up court. They work it to the top of the key. There's a long one-hander put up off the left side. No good by Landman. A rebound to the Cats. Yarborough in the backcourt is fouled. And they're going to call it an intentional foul on Longy.
Yeah, well, I don't really think it was an intentional foul. I think Longy just couldn't get out of the way of that one. Well, they call it, nonetheless, an intentional foul. There's only 7 seconds to play in the ball game.
Yarborough will go to the line, and they'll call everybody off the line. It'll be an intentional foul.
Now we're going to be very, very interested in who wins at Crawford County. Are the lights going out here?
Free throw up by Yarborough, good. 48-37. Yarborough will get the second, and then the Wildcats will get the ball out of bounds. Yarborough's free throw, good. Yarborough will come out of the lineup as Todd Rowland comes in. And the Cats will get the ball the length of the court. 49-37. 7 seconds remaining. Seibert inbounds to Rowland. Rowland will bring it up with 6. Off to Yarborough with 5. Or rather, Seibert, three-pointer on the way. No good. 1 second. Over. Cats win. Final score here from Southridge. Jasper 49, Southridge 37, and the Raiders certainly put up a brilliant battle and scared the daylights in the pants off of the Wildcats. Final 49-37, a huge mob out on the court, and we'll be back here to summarize and give you the individual scoring on tonight's game in a moment.
To better serve Du Bois and surrounding counties, the Computery has merged with the Computer Center. They have twice the manpower to better service both new and old customers from just one location at 417 Main Street in downtown Jasper. The Computer Center not only sells the #1 Apple Macintosh computer for business and graphics and the #1 selling Apple II family for home and education and quality IBM clones at competitive prices, they offer you savings on many, many more computer products like monitors by Thomson, Samsung, and full-page displays, printers by Panasonic, Ito, Epson, Star, Sakosha, and more. They offer you modems by Hayes and US Robotics, just to name a few. They offer you hard drives from Miniscribe and Seagate, and they can upgrade your present system while you wait because they offer you a full-time licensed technician. Why should you shop the Computer Center? Because they and the Computery have merged into one location at the Computer Center, located at 417 Main Street in downtown Jasper. For fast, friendly service, just call their hotline number at 634-1550.
Bob Liggers of Jasper is ready to move them out with their complete inventory of Buicks priced to put you behind the wheel. If you're looking for the drive of the century, then come on in and test drive a new Buick Century. With its smooth ride and distinctive looks, the Century lets you feel the luxury of owning one of Buick's most popular models. As with all Bob Liggers automobiles, your Buick Century is backed with great service and dependability to keep it exciting for miles and miles to come. Feel the excitement of owning a new Buick from Bob Liggers, Highway 231 South Jasper, an easy ride to automotive excellence.
Well, the score says 12, but that's not indicative of how Southridge played here. 49-37, and it was a thrill a minute, 2 outs. Southridge building up by 9-point leads. They end up losing by 12. It was a tough one to lose. But it's a sweet one for the Wildcats, as it really, really ends a long, long drought. So you can put that into your trivia books. Who won in 1989? The Wildcats of Jasper. Southridge led at the first quarter, 13-9. At halftime, 22-21. Jasper finally eked away to a 4-point lead at third quarter, stopped 32-28. We'll tell you more right after we pause for a 60-second timeout from our friends at Du Bois County Tire. And what a jubilant crowd on the floor. We'll tell you about that, too, when we get back.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires, you know, to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving mean. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Get some get up and go at Du Bois County Tire, Highway 231 in Jasper. Because March is moving out on Generals and the values are really rolling. Take General's Versatrack all-season light truck radial. When the going gets tough, it's ready for action. So head on over to Du Bois County Tire. You'll get off-road performance at a price that's in line with your budget, and you'll get it only on Generals.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Well, the ladder's out. The knife is out, and the nets are going away. Scott Yarborough just going up and tipping off a souvenir from the net from the east end of the gymnasium. Timeout. Washington Catholic has defeated Lagodi. Washington Catholic has defeated the Lagodi Lions. We do not have the score. Terry Crodel, following this broadcast, will get that to you as quickly as we can. Stand by. 60-37, to 61. Washington Catholic.
Big win for Kenny Schulteis and the Cardinals.
You know, Bob Simmons, I remember sitting here a few years ago when that same announcement was made, but it was more devastating, I think, at that time than it was this time.
I think WC had I think they had a similar record that Southridge had and really stunned the basketball state. And the Cardinals have pulled it off with a resounding win. 2 points. Well, that's not resounding, but I'll tell you, Kenny Schulteis will take it. Tough way to go out for the Lions, who have had a great season, only to lose their last 3 games to Heritage Hills, Vincennes, and now the big loss to WC.
Well, here in this ball game, as we'll recap it quickly before we get on to other activities, 31% shooting for the Wildcats, and they got 48 shots from the floor and made 15 of them, while Southridge hit 12 out of 30. So 18 more shots taken from the floor by the Wildcats than by Southridge. Southridge with a little bit of a slowdown, a little more deliberate, and that's what Coach Duncan told us that he was going to be doing, just be patient and be deliberate without actually slowing the game down. 70% shooting at the free throw line for Jasper, 14 out of 20, and the Raiders were 76% there at 13 out of 17. Turnovers, major difference between Southridge and Jasper, 19 for the Raiders and 7 for the Wildcats. So that third quarter really was the quarter with 6 of them alone in that quarter for Southridge. It was one that really hurt, and that's when the Wildcats came up to a 4-point lead at 32 to 28. Well, they have draped a shirt across the backboard at the east end there of 1989 sectional champs with the Wildcats black and gold. And there goes a young man that deserves a good round of applause from his fans in Jasper, and that's Steve Huffman as he puts up the sectional champs shirt. Bob Simmers, the individual scoring for you, and a few more comments right after this.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires, you know, to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving mean. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Looking for some off-road action? Try General's Rock and Roll Sale at Du Bois County Tire, Highway 231 in Jasper. It's your opportunity to bop in, buy up, and roll out on General Light Truck Performance radials. Take General Grabber AT. It's the all-terrain radial with the guts to rock and roll on and off the road. So head on over to Du Bois County Tire. You'll get high performance at a price that will be music to your ears, and you'll get it only on General's.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
WITZ-FM, Jasper, Huntingburg.
All right, back. And Denny Spinner, our news director and sportsman, too, has been down on the floor talking to Coach Ed Yarborough, and we're going to see what he had to say after this big win of 49-37 over Southridge.
Game. Finally, at the end of 32 minutes, we were there. We talk a lot about playing in college 32 minutes. And kids just did a whale of a job. Right there in the third quarter, had a big momentum swing. You got a three-pointer. Riders going into the fourth to give you a 4-point lead. How big was that shot for you? Well, that was a very big shot because it really did give us some momentum. And we had been knocking on the door, and finally that went down. We took the lead, and they had to change the strategy. So, and we could do some change in defensively. The Southridge... Did Southridge surprise you any? No, not really. I really thought that he would spread the ball, the floor, and I really felt like our defense, which has been a key for us all year, would win the basketball game, and I really think that's true. How big a relief is it? Oh, I tell you what, when you work as hard as we do, and they all do, but and we haven't won a bunch, and to win that first one, it takes a heck of a knock to knock that pendulum to swing the other way. It took me 4 years. We've been knocking on that door, and finally came through. Good luck at the regional. Thank you very much.
Okay, that'll wrap up that interview quickly there, as Denny Spinner was able to get a very excited Ed Yarborough, and certainly, Bob, he should be excited. About as excited, I think, as Tom Schulteis, who just went by, the brother to Ken Schulteis, who's the head coach over at Washington Catholic.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Glad to see Wes River making the announcement down there on that Washington Catholic and Lagodi ball game. I was hoping that he might have that score, too, on the North Harrison and Corydon game. Of course, that's the team that Wildcats will be meeting. And
they are a formidable opponent, too. They are no stranger to the Washington Regional.
No.
3 years in a row they've been there.
Coach had gone there 3 times in a row. You're right.
Well, let's take a look at the individual scoring here in the title game, as the net now has been carved off of the east bucket. In a moment, the Wildcats, who have just accepted the sectional trophy, will be starting to work on that net on the west goal. Taking a look at Southridge's scoring, Paul Nycom winds up a fine year. He's in double figures tonight with 12 on 3 baskets, 6 out of 7 from the foul line. Mark Boozy had 10 points on 4 baskets, 2 out of 3 at the stripe. Chad Clark had 1 field goal, nothing out of 1 at the line for 2. Steve Patberg had 4 baskets, 2 of 2 at the line for 10 points. Heath Kippenbrock hit 1 of 2 from the foul line for 1. And Chris O'Brien hit both of his free throw opportunities for 2 points. For Jasper, John Bottle 2 of 4 from the line, 2 points. Steve Huffman, 8 points on 4 baskets. Craig Griley had a basket for 2. Jason Allbrand, 6 out of 9 from the foul line for 6. Scott Yarborough, 22 points on 7 baskets, 4 of 5 from the foul line. 4 of the 7 field goals came from three-point range. Brad Bedrick, I guess, is really the guy that kind of got the Wildcats off and running when he came in off of the bench and chipped in with 9 points, 3 baskets, 2 out of 3 from the foul line. He buried a three-pointer in the first half. And really, Bob, I think it was his mid-court steal and his driving lay-in that really gave the Cats a little momentum there in the fourth quarter, where Jasper was able to get out and just get a little bit of breathing room.
That was the time, I think, there's kind of a cruncher right there. And Wildcats just continued to build up. They really took the lead there at the end of the third quarter, Bob, at 32-28. And just short runs by Southridge from there on, because 37, they only scored about 9 points in the fourth quarter. But again, it wasn't their idea to score. They didn't want to trade baskets with the Wildcats. They wanted to catch them, and they tried to keep the Wildcats from getting the ball too many times. Chris Yarborough goes up on the ladder and he'll take a hunk out of the sectional net there.
So it'll be on to the Washington Regional now for the Wildcats, as they'll be taking on the winner out of Crawford County. You just heard a moment ago, Lagodi has been upset by Washington Catholic, although the Cardinals, after getting off to a fairly slow start, they won 16-17 ball games, so the Cardinals have really matured since I think we saw them way back around Thanksgiving, Bob.
That was the, against Northeast Du Bois.
When the Wildcats played.
Certainly. My goodness, right before that was the first game of the season so long ago, and I'll tell you, it takes a season sometimes to season a young man, and I'll tell you, I'm really surprised that Southridge they just turned their little season around too here at the end.
They got a lot to build on right now, Bob. They've got a lot of people coming back next year, and certainly not winning on their home floor during the regular season, coming in here and then beating Perry Central last night by 11. And as I said, toward the end of the ball game, they flat scared the pants off of the Wildcat players, coaching staff, and their fans.
Well, it certainly would have been devastating, I think, for the senior-laden Wildcat team had they not come away with a victory here in this sectional. Opportunities lost and a good season, some good wins that they'd had throughout the year.
They went through that last year.
Yes. Yeah. And then they got the long bracket, which is always tough to win 3 in a row, particularly after you'd won 6 in a row before your last season loss. So congratulations to the Wildcats basketball team and coaches. They've done a super job this year as far as I'm concerned. And my hat is off again, as it always is, it seems this time of the year, to Coach Gary Duncan. When that man comes to play, he comes to play. And hope we can see Coach Duncan around for years to come.
And I'm sure that those kids and the coaching staff are probably saying, hey, we gave it our best shot. Now, if we'd have just put some performances like this in the season, we wouldn't have had those just the 3 wins. Certainly, as I said, it's going to be something for the Raiders to build on in the 89-90 season. Well, the ceremonies out on the court continue as the Wildcats are carving off the net on the West goal. Final score here in the championship game, 49-37. Jasper wins it and goes on to the second game of the Washington Regional next Saturday afternoon. All the action, of course, will be carried right here on Sports Radio. We'll have more information coming up about the 4 teams that will make up that Washington field as we'll have our sports shows on throughout the week. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We enjoyed bringing it to you. 49-37, the final. Jasper wins it. So long from Huntingburg Memorial Gym.